Hello. Today I'd like to talk about COVID, and I'd like to talk about why in the US is the number of cases so high, and why is it that it just continues to climb? What is causing this country to have such a large number of cases? And I'm fairly certain it isn't because we're testing that we're seeing the numbers so high. Because generally, people, unless there's something wrong, you're not going to go get a test done. So I think we're seeing the numbers because, well, that's what's real. People are falling ill. And my question really is, why in the U.S. is our numbers so high? It is just, it's kind of astounding, really. And well, I am a Life Path 9. I'm a humanitarian. And as a humanitarian, some time ago, I became aware that life is highly reflective. I'm a mirror, you're a mirror. I'm you, you're me. And I know that sounds a little, wait a minute. No. But yes, it is true. Um, I'm a piece of you, you're a piece of me. And how we treat each other matters. And my thought on the virus right now is that it is out of control, largely because we are out of control. It is reflective. So we're going to ask the cards today to help us to understand what can we do as a country, as a people, to bring this back together so that, because living life 2 weeks at a time in fear isn't really living. And I don't think any of us have any illusion about that. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started. I'm going to use the wild unknown because, well, boy, are we ever in the wild unknown. The wild, wild west. Here we go. And I will do a Celtic cross. And I wanted to do, and I just couldn't find what I was looking for. I wanted to do a chart. I wanted to do it based on the astrology, but finding the birth date of COVID is a bit elusive. I think that it depends on where it started and when it started, and I don't think that's going to be easy to know. But I do know that there is a young astrologer in India. I think his channel is called Conscious or Conscious. Anyway, he predicted this virus and, in fact, says that things are going to get by far worse before they get better. And he's thinking March 2021 is what he thinks is going to be when things start to improve. I know that right now I'm very suspicious that as long as we're in such resistance to this process, as long as we don't go into surrender, we're going to be bombarded. We're just not going to get over this. And so I'm really, just asking the cards to talk to me about why in the United States is the problem so bad. Well, and yeah, I can say, without any hesitation that we, as a country, if you get sick and you're in the lower income classes and you have no medical insurance, it is difficult for you to get proper care. And part of my thought might be that because of the way our system is set up, and people can't afford anymore. I mean, we have a serious problem in the United States right now. People not being able to afford an apartment or a house, that they're working a couple of different jobs, that they're having to home share with a roommate. I mean, a lot of things are changing for people and not for the better. The symptomology here is that financially we're tithing for the billionaires. We are paying our 25% tax base to the billionaires, and there's no infrastructure taking place. And I think that it has eroded us as humans. I think it's eroded our health. It's eroded our tolerance to their energy. We're eroded right now, and it's reflective in our health. And so um, we start out with the Five of Swords, just really being embattled at this time, feeling very much cut in half. Um, unable to really kind of put the pieces back together. That we won't ever be the same from COVID. So, and I think that reflects it. We are changed forever. We have been chopped forever due to COVID. And what we are crossed by is this emperor energy. This I am the king. I am the dictator. And what I say goes. I don't care if it causes more health issues, disease, or uh, deterioration of society. I'm in charge. So there it is. There's the energy that we're really dealing with, this opposition to the virus. Opposition isn't going to make the virus go away, folks. Opposition isn't going to change a thing. We have to be disciplined. We have to, it's just like going on a diet. You're not going to lose weight if you don't do a few things right. We're not going to get well unless we do some things right. And right now we're being told, no, you have to go back to work. No, you have to go back to school. No, we're not going to put any money in your infrastructure. In fact, we'll take money away from your infrastructure if you don't do exactly what we tell you. And we all know we're living our lives right now 2 weeks at a time. Every time we go out, we think, okay, did I get the virus? If I get a cough, if I get a sniffle, if I get a sore throat, we are attracting the illness in that state. And it's hard not to do it, but that is what's happening. We're living 2 weeks at a time. In the past position, you have the Ace of Cups, something new. Um, and unless we're willing to look, we won't see. And right now, I realize this says something new, but it's in a past position. So um, I'm just not, I think that there's just so much hiding of the story, the truth. It's very difficult to get to the bottom of what's happened because, well, they don't want us to know. They want us to be in this state. They want us to be the Five of Cups, the prey predator relationship. They want us to be in fear. I have to ask myself, why would anyone want me to live in fear? Well, if you take note of what a horse provides, a horse is sturdy, it's strong, it can walk for, sometimes not every day, but a horse can actually carry a person on a packing trip something like 22 miles in a day easily. So, these are prey animals, but they are also quite utility. They serve a purpose. And it's as if we serve a purpose, but make no mistake about it, right now we are the prey. And why we're the prey? It's largely about money, and it's largely about keeping things in a fashion available to the very top of the field folks, to the billionaires. The money, they want to keep the assets, the riches of earth, the well-being of the people. The billionaire class wants to have control of that issue. And my question to you is, folks, we have the numbers. Do you want that? There was a reason the Bolshevik Revolution happened, and it was because people just got squeezed and squeezed some more and squeezed again and then squeezed again. And by the time the people from the Bolshevik Revolution went in to exact their revenge, they were so irritated and pissed off, they didn't even care if they killed children. And I just think, whoa, wait a minute, that's wrong. Okay, that's just wrong. Because a child has no part in an adult's decisions and should not be punished for adults' choices. So I just want to say that because I don't want anybody to think that in any way I support any kind of harming of others, because I do not. I think the only way we can go through this and get through it is to look within ourselves and do our inner work. Each of us individually could make a massive difference on this planet and at this time just by doing our own work. And this card says it all, that yes, we are looking for this metamorphosis. We're looking to transform into the butterfly, that we go into this cocooned and dark place. But then when we arise, we come out into this butterfly energy, we then can take some control of our circumstances. And this is a Four of Wands, and you know, it's we are in the process of transforming right now as we speak. At the heart of it, the sun. And the sun. We need to put light in our own lives, each and every one of us. We need to do our personal work. We need to put in each and every individual person, our intensity needs to be inward. Doing your own work, in fact, could be very beneficial to helping resolve this issue. And I find it interesting that in our country, we're the ones that are struggling so bad to bring it under control. But in our country, we're struggling whether or not we can even, whether we're going to wear a mask, whether it's a good idea or not a good idea. And I can just tell you, until there's a better idea, that's the idea I'm going to go with, because that's something. It's better than nothing. So, you know, I don't have all the answers. Nobody does, really. We're finding out what there is to know about this. And I'm not really into all the conspiracies about how we got this virus, why we have this virus. I don't think anybody can say that the Spanish flu happened to harm anybody. It happened because it was a time and a place and an energy that was the time, the place, and the energy. So what we have in a future position is this transformation, this negotiation with Earth, this time of change. And as you can see, we're not the cocoon in this image either. We are the butterfly. But remember, at one time, this was a cocoon. And so, as we emerge, we do have some beautiful energy coming. When is it going to get here? I don't know. But I know that by doing our personal work, there is hope. By not doing our personal work, each and every one of us, we have less to be hopeful for. So, you know, this gets down to us having the ability personally to recognize our own part in this and do something about it. And if each of us individually do just that, we will make progress, and a lot of progress very quickly. In our hopes and fears position, we have a Three of Hearts, Three of Wands, excuse me, and Three of Wands, and it's as if we've got to kind of change how we're thinking and what we're thinking about and who we're thinking about. We have to reorganize our thinking in order to get this virus under control. Spirit is communicating with us. Are we listening? That is the question. There's you, there's me, there's the virus. There's Spirit, there's you and me, there's the virus. It's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to us to do this work. This triangle is going to have to be broken by us looking at each section carefully and doing our part to resolve the problem. And in the conclusion, we get the Six of Swords. Moving on. Things concluding. When will that be? Well, you know, what I happen to think is that when we go through the election, there will be a massive breakdown when the people speak. Whether or not this will be a peaceful transition or not, I don't for sure know. But I'm thinking that maybe there's going to be somebody moving on. Okay. And by that, somebody moving on, it's going to unroot what's happening. And this is a Six of Cups. It's going to unroot some things. It's going to bring some things up. And what I think is going to happen, my own personal crystal ball, the way I'm feeling the energy and just listening to, I'm an astrology student, so I pay close attention to the astrology that's going on. I wanted to do a natal chart for COVID, but I don't really think that we have a clear idea of really where this came from, when it came, what its birth date is. And so I'm just not going to do a wild guess. I'm just going to say I just can't really narrow that exactly down. But there are other, very few, but there are some astrologers that actually did say that 2020, that this virus was going to hit, and it was going to hit hard. And in fact, the same astrologer is saying be prepared for in November another really hefty round of something, again, virus related. So, and I know that in China right now we have an additional swine flu that is coming up, an H1N1. So, are we in trouble? But yes, we are. But I will say this, and I say this ever so lovingly, that um, and I said this to my husband because I have a job. I go to work. I interact with people. I have a life, and I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to live in fear, but I'm going to wear my face mask. I'm going to take precaution as much as I possibly can because I choose life over fear. And I think we all could do a lot of good work just by doing our own personal work. And with that, I thank you for joining me here today. If you would like to have a reading, please join me on www.twiggie.com, Twiggie. I do a full range of astrology and tarot. And if you like my channel, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And with that, I conclude. Thank you very much.